All right. Well, that wound up on the first time being a short video, and so I didn't really pause it. I accidentally stopped it, so I've started another one. So here we go. Let me run through the money and review, and then we'll move on into chapter 6. Okay, so letter 1 is G, number 2 is C, 3 is B, 4 is F, and I'm on page 124. 5 is A, 6 is D, 7 is E, and 8 is H. Now, on the multiple choice side, our culture thinks student loan debt is normal and it's an acceptable way to pay for college. That is true. We don't like that, but our culture believes that's the way to go. Number 10, a 4-year degree is necessary regardless of what career you're pursuing. That is false. And I mentioned like a hygienist. I think it's 2 years. Okay. And that's a pretty good paying job. I mean, for 2 years. All right. So, all right. Number 11, the total estimated student debt outstanding in the U.S. Well, it's letter B, which is a trillion, but now it's on up to like $1.6 trillion. Number 12, which of the following is not a good option when it comes to paying for your education? Letter C, asking your parents to take out a loan. Not doing that. Number 13, it's all of the above. You want to invest in yourself, find a mentor, read books, and surround yourself with people who have similar goals, etc. All right, number 14. And this is pretty much, you can just fill these in however you prefer, but explain how you can get education debt-free after high school. We've gone through that, so you can kind of figure out how to write that down and so on. And then I'm just going to skip down to number 16. You've already written a paper on this, 3 reasons why you should avoid student loans. So I don't really need to go there. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for chapter 5. Now, if we get into chapter 6, boy, I think sometimes kind of putting chapters 5 and 6 together, and we talk about college and debt and marketing to high schoolers and college students. I talked to a mom recently, and she has a daughter who will graduate from high school and at the same time have an associate's degree. I mean, okay, I don't know how you do that, but it's possible today, evidently. I'm saying get creative. I mean, too, being a homeschooler, you have the option to take classes at Piedmont or whatnot. And so you can get out of high school, take 2 years, or the area in which you live would have a community college. And then you could graduate. I mean, can you imagine, graduating high school, you're 18 and you already have 2 years of college? And I don't know what your track is. You might say, I'm going to take a year off and then work, and then I'm going to go back for my 3rd year and 4th year. I don't know. I mean, but just get creative on how you're going to do all this. Think outside the box and, do your homework and see what other people are doing. There's a lot of ideas. You could probably just Google that and come up with ideas on what people do. But here's what I know. It's hard to swim against the current. And the current is flowing really strong. And that's the current of student debt to pay for college. And it's very hard to swim against the current. But we're going to do our best. And as we move into chapter 6, marketing is the same thing. I mean, we live in a culture. I mean, we're just bombarded with marketing and advertisements. And they want you to be unhappy with what you wear, what you drive, the toothpaste you use, the foods you eat. They don't want you to like anything you're doing right now so that you'll go out and buy their product, and they'll suck you in for life. They'll take your dollars because they don't care if you're broke. It's not on their agenda. Now, when you buy something, that means you can't buy something else. So if you have $50 and you buy a pair of shoes for 45, you're out. Add in some tax and you pretty much spent all $50 and you can't go to the movies. You can't go out to eat. No, you bought the pair of shoes. So there is an opportunity cost. So you're going to have to keep track of everything, or you won't be able to do the things you really want to do. I mean, it's easy to buy something on impulse and then you want to do something else, but because you bought something on impulse that you really hadn't planned and now you wanted to do something that you'd already planned, it doesn't work that way. All right, so there is an opportunity cost. That's why it's so important that you have a budget and think ahead of time. What's coming up? What do you want to buy? What do you want to spend? Where do you want your dollars to go? And then you write that down in your budget and you pretty much try to stick to it. Now, with social media, I mean, it's amazing. And if you have a phone, you've already seen this. You can go to your app and at the bottom, top, whatever, there's an advertisement. Maybe it's Amazon, and maybe you looked at a pair of shoes somewhere, and lo and behold, there it is on Amazon, or a book, or whatever. I mean, listen, the internet knows what you're searching for. They know who you are. And so forget television and radio. I mean, just your phone. So we are in the most marketed culture in history. And then I'm on page 130. And we are going to have to develop, excuse me, a little bit of resistance. All right. Now, the Latin term, cavit, or however you say that, emptor, means buyer beware. Now, I want us to keep something in mind. We are not trying to approach money where we want to take all the fun out of life. That's not going to be fun. And you're probably not going to gravitate to that at the end of the day. But remember, we want you to live like nobody else today so that later in life you can live like nobody else. I could give you a laundry list of people who lived it up in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s, and then they were broke in their 50s and 60s and 70s all the way to the end. And you know what? You get to choose. You want to. There's an old advertisement: "Pay me now or pay me later." And I think to be poor per se, what I mean is not a lot of extra money because you're doing your finances in the right way. You don't have a lot of fluff because you're saving, you're investing, etc. And that's going to pay rich dividends down the road. And once again, I always tell you, go back to page 40, look at the chart, see where you want to go, where you want to be, and that's what you want to shoot for. All right. All right. So on the bottom of page 130, we want to sacrifice to win, and then we want to enjoy the winning. So we want you to enjoy the later years in life. And I think today, once again, I mentioned this on the last video or two, that I think today you are seeing how important it is that we handle our finances in a financially astute way now, because we don't know what's coming down the road. We do not know. So we get ready for tomorrow today, and that's how we're doing our finances.